with Dr. Furman and Bikram every day. I lost 54 pounds by mid-June. First week of June, I think it was. And I have this other picture of me having lost weight after my training. I just was too lazy to find one without that attached to it. And then by November, I was just checking out how loose my pants were, and it looks like I'm doing some kind of crazy Madonna Kanye thing, and I'm so not. I'm trying to get a picture of, just a still picture for my new shirts when they were going to be sold at the Rockefeller estate. And I mean, does it get any better than that? I think it was the year The Secret came out. All this good stuff was happening. A little bit, but this is also the same year with the Bulls and starting those fights and people breaking down my door and all. It's always kind of stuff. But I just wanted to. I just saw this and it made me laugh that I was trying to capture from the neck up. So because my face is old, I thought I looked younger here. So, and this is similar to why that whole Farmy sports bra that went out to Jane, that wasn't a picture taken for Jane. I was trying to envision a line of clothing, and I didn't look bad for 45. So, but the whole point is, why would anyone want to mess me up? Sold a couple of shirts, and I got blackballed from the Rockefeller estate within, a matter of weeks. I saw some people from Croton there. I mean, who knows, but, with the neighbors the way they were, with everything that was happening the way it was, it just, I started to gain weight back, but then I even got to go to training, but it's always this fight, false police reports, and I have 400 videos up, just about, and I feel better to try to set the record straight. No, don't do that to the roots. No, not the roots. No. No. No! What did I say? Stop it.
Alright, I have to call you back. Okay, I'm in the store.
Okay. I'm gonna take my dog out real quick. What did you say?
Are you gonna be around for a little bit after you get your dog back?
Yeah, I'm just gonna take him out for like 15 minutes, quick walk around the block.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Friday, 5:15 p.m.
Hello?
Hey,
Hi.
was that you?
Yes.
I was just in the toilet.
Oh. It's Sherry. You're opening tomorrow, right?
Yeah?
Okay, can you get there a little earlier? Because something is going on with the heat again, so I just want to make sure that it comes up early enough so that heat the room up enough for the clock. Alright?
I'll try. It's hard, but I'll definitely try to get there a little early.
You get there at 7:30 usually, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, at least that is, even if it's 5 or 10 minutes before, it will help.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I got your email.
Yeah.
And I don't appreciate it.
You what?
I don't appreciate it. Alice is a vinyasa teacher who's never done a Bikram class, who's been studying to try to cover the classes, and she graciously, I spoke with Katie over here, you probably know by now. She graciously decided to cover for Katie because Katie said she had an emergency she needed to not be able to teach, and you guys do nothing but tear her apart.
What do you mean tear her apart? I just told you it was a really bad class, and I thought you'd want to know about it.
Well, there's a way of knowing about it. She went over and all that. But first of all, she was more aware than anybody. She called me and was very upset about it and all that because she wasn't ready, and she decided to do it to help out. And
I like Alice. I felt bad for her. I'm not saying it was her fault. I was just like, wow, that was really, really bad. And I wish her all the luck in the world in getting better at it.
Well, she will get better at it, and one of the reasons that it went over was because she was trying to teach the class as opposed to just saying the words in the script. And so, that, even though you felt that it was a terrible class, and I'm sure there are other people, I know everyone thought that it wasn't a great class, but there were people who commented and complimented her on the fact that she tried to teach the class as opposed to just saying the words, and other people have said that to her and to me that she heard things from her, that they heard some things from her that they didn't hear from that never heard from anybody else. So, there's a way of saying she went over the time. It wasn't a great class. She was new and all that stuff. But the tone of your email, much more so than the words in your email, the tone of your email was very unsupportive, as I said to Katie as well.
I mean, think about it. Think about the karmic effects of saying you're sorry and versus like holding a grudge and being angry and thinking you're so self-righteous. Think about the repercussions of those two actions. Do you really want me to dislike you and, share my experience with you with others because we're in the same community, and why should I not be honest about what I've experienced you to be when, you're working for Dan, and I don't think you should be working for people if you're not able to look at your flaws and the way that you act. I don't think you are humble enough, and I think that is your biggest problem, and you go on and on and on, complaining and complaining all the time about how you're so mistreated, and you just don't get for one fucking millisecond that it has anything to do with your behavior, and it is so fucking annoying, and I'm so pissed at you right now. And, you could make it all just better by just being like, sorry.
Meanwhile, in light of these messages, when you consider the scandalous things about drugs and things she said to Dan, what Jane did to just destroy me. I didn't have any money. I had no money. I was loaned money to go train for this, and it was such a perfect thing for me. And so listen to how full of shit they are. It's like I don't want to say a cult, I don't know what to call it, but it's like a hazing. Yeah, it's a hazing. Of course, my better judgment tells me not to repeat what Jackie said to Dan with the subject of cocaine. But the only reason I am confident that it's okay to say it is because anyone, even people that hate me, people who can't stand me it's scared. That's the whole point. When you say something, the slander, people will spin it and use it against you, and it's not true. Anyone that knows, it's not what I do. I'm broken. I'm like an old woman. I'm a cat woman without cats. Look at what I did. Matt, does anyone know how hard it is to do that, to go from that to that? And more than once? But what I'm trying to convey is people talk about the economy, people talk about jobs, people talk about healthcare. I was so sick before I got healthy. These people fucked me over, and their business is health. Economy, their jobs, it was like my dream job. And listening to these messages, it's tedious, and it may not really be clear to anyone what I'm trying to show here, but and ironically, even the people in here are more likely to threaten me, just to continue to threaten me and drive someone off the cliff. And that's what this is about. It's like goodbyecruelworld.org. But yeah, no, this is so not a threat of suicide. That would be foolish now, wouldn't it?
That the tone of your email is not only unsupportive to someone who went out of their way to do something that they were not comfortable doing, knowing it was the first time.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that when I read the email, because I talked to Katie much later, and I didn't realize that it was Alice's first class, and
it wasn't just Alice's. It was Alice's first Bikram class, having never taught a Bikram before, ever, barely takes a Bikram, and she's a vinyasa teacher and an Iyengar teacher. And one of the reasons that she went over is because she was using her skills and her expertise as a teacher to try to teach the postures as opposed to just saying the words. If she went in there and just gave the script as the script is written, then she probably would have been on time, but it wouldn't have been a good class anyway, because sometimes I don't think those classes are very good.
Well, I mean, I was there, and I know what she was saying, and I don't want to argue that point with you, because I like Alice very much, and like I said, I think a lot of her, and so I was just being open to you and Danielle, just like saying, blah, I was frustrated, and I did want to convey that, in that it's like, my God, it's like, what do I have to do to, like, can't you just, like, let me try, and you come to class, and you listen to me, and you watch me, and I'm not saying I'm going to be phenomenal, I'm not going to be Danielle, but I'm going to be just as good as Renee, I'm going to be just as good as Katie, and maybe even better. And I think that if I were introduced in the right way, I think everybody there would really be, like, supporting me, saying, like, just throw me in an emergency, and they'll say, well, you know what, Maria was pretty good, and, like, slowly but surely, once in a while, it's like, they'll think of me.
Yeah, but Rita, just because that is your desire, your method is not going to force me to do it. As a matter of fact, if anything, it's going to force me to do the opposite.
I'm not going to
You're shoving it down my throat.
I think I could force you to do anything.
Oh, see, I know you realize that you can't, but you're trying all the tactics that you try.
You're misunderstanding. I'm just being passionate. That's all. I'm just saying. I'm expressing how I feel, and I want you to use me.
And being angry and thinking you're so self-righteous. Think about the repercussions of those two actions. Do you really want me to dislike you and, share my experience with you with others because we're in the same community, and why should I not be honest about what I've experienced you to be when you're working for Dan? I don't think you are humble enough, and I think that is your biggest problem, and you go on and on and on, complaining and complaining all the time about how you're so mistreated, and you just don't get for one fucking millisecond that it has anything to do with your behavior, and it is so